Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Christine Hall, and I'm the founder of the Mississauga and Area Women in Business. Today is MAWB's first Lunch and Learn, and we have the opportunity to hear from Kandice-Lee Douchette. And our topic today is learn how to manage your time using the time blocking technique. Just a little bit about Kandice. Have you heard that quote before? If you want something done, ask a busy person. Kandice is a busy person. Not only does she have a full-time job as a project manager, but she also has 3 side hustles. She is an epicure consultant extraordinaire. She also has, is the, not the founder, not the administrator, the leader, Kandice will correct me in a minute, of Healthy Women. I believe it's the Etobicoke branch. And she also is an Arbonne consultant. So welcome, Kandice. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today on the topic of learn how to manage your time using time blocking technique. I'm going to allow Kandice to jump in now, and if you want to correct anything I said, please feel free to do that, and let us know a little bit more about yourself, and then we can get started with the presentation. So take it away, Kandice.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much for doing this, because this is amazing. I totally agree with Lunch and Learns, especially for a lot of us that are still kind of transitioning or do have a full-time job. Yes, pretty much everything you said is correct. What I'm called for Happy Healthy Women is a branch director. So I handle the branch. I take care of the admin for that, do the postings, do events, things like that. And the other thing I could probably add to my list now of being busy is I'm building my own business, and I hope to launch it come February. So, which is connection with the Epicure, so they'll go together. So, very busy with a lot of things, and yes, time management is crucial, and that comes a lot from me knowing how to project manage and have been doing that. Well, we all know how to project manage, to be honest. Every one of us knows how to do it. We've been doing it since we were children. You know, what time you get up to do your teeth, you go to school, all that kind of stuff, that's still project management. So the idea is taking that a little bit further, and when you get to a point that you're so busy, you realize you're not doing the things that actually make you happy, or that make you sing or have passion for, whatever your thing is. So it could be spending time with your family, it could be travel, it could be just soaking in a tub, it can be anything. And that's the thing about trying to block your time, so that you're not saying yes to everything, but you're saying yes to those things that are priorities for you, that make you happy. That's the idea of what time blocking is all about. And I've gotten this a lot from different people, coaches, either productivity or oh my, I've lost the word, sorry. Anyway, different types of coaches. But this one here that I'm gonna walk you through is one from Judy. She's an amazing coach that I'm with, and actually part of a goddess temple, so we're all just share. So if you wanna move on to the next slide, or did anyone have any questions or anything before I get moving into like the steps? Anything I've missed that someone wants to pull up? No? Okay. So the idea is planning your ideal month. So when you sit there and plan your week or your month or something, you should be looking at everything, not just your appointments you already have, or that you go to work from 9 to 5, all that, but all the other little things you want to do. So like scheduling your time off, as I said before, which is crucial, and that's the part where I'm practicing more and more every day, is time in the morning for myself, whether it's meditation or fitness, time during the day, like going for a walk at lunch, or I literally block off a whole day and I don't work at all, period. There's no Epicure, there's no nothing. And I don't say yes to anything for that day. Literally, it's my day off. I don't touch the phone. I don't do anything, like things like that. Or date night with your husband, or kids, something. I don't have any kids, but you know, like that. That's the idea. Then you work down, like that's your first thing you work on, is what your time, your personal time is, what you want off. And then you work into your usual work habits, whether it's mailing things out, whether it's doing blogs, whether it's workshops like Christine. So in essence, Christine could just book, you know what, Mondays at 10:30 is my day for workshops, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing any other day of the week. Don't care if it doesn't matter if anybody else, you know, that's my schedule and that works for me. And I'm sure you're already doing that, but that's the concept of it, right?
Well, Mondays are my day to not work.
Okay, the other
all that other, like, yeah.
Yeah, other day.
From my weekend.
Perfect. So that's it. Monday you block off and it's nothing, right? No work. But that's when anyone comes to you, you're like, no, sorry, Monday is not, I can't. Tuesday, how about Tuesday? Or how about Thursday or whatever, that kind of scenario. And then you start scheduling all the other little pieces that you have in. So like your appointments and events and all that. And to do this, key habit is to schedule your scheduling. You literally put that in your schedule, that Sunday morning, Saturday night, whatever your time frame is, an hour, that's your scheduling. You look at everything. All your week, maybe even to the month, start looking ahead and you start planning all that. And then if you already have like a template, that's where we're going to show you, is like blocks of time. Already, don't book anything for that Monday. Don't book anything for the Saturday night. And then you're creating your own habit. And what happens with the habit is that you end up getting this reward afterwards, like you feel great or you feel like you've accomplished something, and then it'll become more of a habit, right? That whole cue, routine, reward thing. So making that part of it. Okay, so we'll go on to anyone questions or anyone have anything they want to say? I am all ears. Nope. Okay, so next one. So this is an example from the product goddess that I'm part of. So she blocks off things like when she actually even has it by day. So for example, like all of her goddess good high vibed things are on one day. She doesn't do anything that she doesn't like to do on that day. So for example, if she doesn't like admin work, she will not put admin work on that day. So if she's all a creativity day, creativity is all she does that day. Doesn't do admin stuff, doesn't do emailing, doesn't do any of that kind of stuff. She literally just, it's all creative, creating ideas, writing, blogs, whatever that is. So same idea. If you're, again, have admin work and you don't like it, or it's accounting and you don't like it, any of that kind of stuff, don't do on your day that you all want to be creative or passionate or something like that. You leave that alone. You put it on another day. And that day, so you don't get a low vibe during your high vibe. You need to get that admin work done, but don't put it on a day that you want to enjoy what you're doing, because then what'll end up happening is that happy day or that good creative day will start to feel like it started bringing it down. You will, sorry, the word I'm looking for, but you won't want to go to that day, right? You'll be regretting the day because it's like, oh, I have to do this and this, and you'll forget about the creativity. You'll be focused on the stuff you don't want to do. So put that on another day. And then as you see, she blocks off complete days for herself. Like, that's my day, end of discussion. Okay, so does anybody want to maybe tell me what their kind of thing that they're trying to work into their schedule or anything, and we can walk through one as an example? Anybody have anything that they're like, days that they don't have any goddess time, or they don't have any family time, or they're feeling stressed out about meals or anything like that?
So
okay.
I love the idea that you mentioned about scheduling the scheduling. I think we have to really make this a habit and sit down on whatever day of the week and write out the plan for the week. My husband always says to me that a good day starts the night before. Mm-hmm. Right? And so what I do with my running, for example, because your week can disappear so quickly, I find out, when am I working? What are my kids doing? And then I'm like, okay, that's it. I have a 2-hour window. So sometime in that 2-hour window, I need to get out for my run. I don't actually say from 4:05 to 5:05, but just kind of like, I know that chunk of time is where I'm going to do my running.
Right, and you get a reward, right, when you come back after running, like you have your endorphins, so you start to crave that time now, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Especially, I know if runners get that all the time, but it comes with other things too. Any particular thing, as long as you're giving yourself a reward, and it doesn't mean like food or something, it's just a reward. You get that, it has to be a physical feeling in your body that you feel like something's happened, whether it's an endorphin or you've enjoyed it, or you get a physical reaction like goosebumps or something, and the more you have that, the more you're going to crave that habit, which would be that of routine. Mm-hmm. And exactly. So yes, yeah. Someone said, oh yes, go ahead, sorry.
Did someone say something or put up their hand? I didn't see it.
No, sorry, yeah, go ahead, I missed it, so go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, especially for a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, I've always been really disciplined with my time, but I know a lot of people can, if you don't have a structure as a solopreneur, your day can get away from you and it's already, oh my gosh, it's 2 o'clock now. What happened in the last 5 hours? So yeah, I think it's so critical that you create a schedule and work on the things that need to get done. But I see what you're saying here is, yes, you need to work on the things that need to get done, but the goddess time, the creativity time, the me time, that's also equally important.
It's equally important, yes, because if you want more energy to be able to give to the rest of whatever it is you're doing. So being of service, your service, you provide service. To be able to do that and come into your workshops full of energy and everything is you giving yourself you time, which partly is that you're running, that's your you time, and you have an endorphin. So the more you give back to yourself, the more you can give out to others. And the more you'll be able to feel like you're actually getting something done. And again, sorry, but it's like that block of time, it's just easier to say no. When you have it in your calendar and you can say, look, it's already blocked off. I'm really sorry. I can't go do this right now. It's just not my thing. And it's not like you're saying no. You're saying no to this so that you can say yes to something else, right?
Or say yes to the right thing.
Yes. So what you really want to make sure that you are enjoying the moments that you're doing, even if it is the admin stuff you don't like, or the accounting, or whatever, one of the doctors, something, you want to be in the position of being okay with it, because you know, yes, I'm doing this, but after that, I'm going to go do this.
Yeah. Or you could be like, yes, I have to do this, but I only have to do it for 20 minutes more.
Yes. And that's the thing about the night before, when you said that, part of like what you could set up, I have journals and stuff too, is the night before I'm writing down my 3 top things I need to get done the next day. And then when the morning comes, again, goes in the journal again, these reminding myself, yes, I wrote these down. I need to go do X, Y, and Z. And keep it to 3, like no more than 3, like that are your top priorities.
I can't do 10.
No, not as top. You can have 10 things on your list, but they're not your top priorities, and they're not the things we've talked about here as well in this group and other groups. Do them before noon. Do them before that time frame, 9 a.m. to 12. Give yourself a time. These are the 3 things I'm going to get done before noon today, and that's it. Or these are the 3 things I need to do. Like, for example, this was on my top thing to do today. At noon, I have a lunch and learn. Done. So I'm completely prepared for it and ready to go.
Well, and then sometimes using that methodology, you can work backwards. If I'm going to be on that lunch and learn, let's say from 12 to 1 today, then what do I need to get done beforehand? What do I need to put in ahead of time so that I'm free to do that? Because, for example, my day ends at 2:30. I got to go get my kids at 2:30. That's crazy. Yeah, so it makes for a shorter day.
For sure. And then
I was just going to say, so you write in a journal.
Yes, I do.
I find it very effective as well to list things out. I actually use my phone just because it's always with me. And the last thing I do, and I know this is bad, but it's usually at bedtime, I actually send myself an email with my to-do list for tomorrow. And what I personally find, because I have a hard time going to sleep because my brain it never ends, is once I have it here, it's like, okay, I won't forget, it's there.
It's done. And that's exactly what people tell you to do, actually. So coaches that say the night before you go to, make sure you write it all out, because literally your brain be like, you've dumped it and you can go to bed. I use my phone as well and a journal. It just happens to be what I'm doing right now, but I use Swipes, and literally I just remember little things. It's an app called Swipes. And literally you can put it in and just say, I have to do this. It's reoccurring or not reoccurring. And then it literally will just pop up at any time of the day that I want it to remind me to do it, whether it's for that day or the next day. So like I have my planks in here, mail out memory cards, like it's a whole bunch of things that I've got in there. And they're just little things that literally is exactly as you said, that pop in your head and you're like, uh-oh, I got to do this. I'm not going to remember right this second. I'll just type it out and then I know it's there and I don't fret about me forgetting that I had this thing down, right? Because it's done. But same idea. Yep.
So,
okay.
Move ahead.
Yes. So again, it's part we went through, but I just to reiterate, it's the blocking off your calendar so that you make it into a habit and it's planned and desired. Use colors, whatever works for you. So if you're not a a paper calendar person, no problem. You can still do it online. I colored mine, which would be the next example, where I color like bold green for certain things, pink for my goddess time. It's all in there. It's just that. So you want to go to the next one because the example we've talked about, so I don't want to.
Okay, just going to mute somebody there who's talking. And yes, go to the next one.
Yeah, so this is an example where I wrote it on paper. It's part of it's very messy, but I wanted to at least show you the idea when you can just sit down, grab a piece of paper, put down Monday to Tuesday, your whole day. For example, you would at 2:30, you'd have another line after 2:30, right? And then you would go, and then you could just say, okay, so this particular time I'm getting kids, and this particular time is my morning time. This particular little block here is my run time, and that's for your week. And then you can look at it going, do I want this to continue? Right? Do I want next week to have the same day off? Do I want it? Can I have that? Can I make it work? And obviously things are going to happen where you've already booked things ahead, like someone's party or something. You'd be like, okay, that's fine. But the next week and the next week, and that's the more you do. Like I started this Saturday off in November. I've missed one or two because I had something booked already. And then since then, nope, no work on Saturdays. It's for me and my husband, and that's it. Or friends or whatever the scenario is, but not work.
So I love that you showed us this piece of paper. I love that you showed us this hand-drawn highlighter, pen, messy stuff. Because one of the things I find is people hesitate to start new habits, new routines, because, oh, I don't have the app. I don't have the new day timer. I don't have that tool. We actually do have all the tools at our disposal. We just use it as sometimes as an excuse not to get started. So I love that it looks like this because it doesn't have to be fancy.
Nope.
I believe, my personal experience, it has to be written down if it's going to get done.
And you have to start now. Don't wait until exactly, I'm waiting for X. Even if it's going to the gym, I'm waiting to get a personal trainer, or I'm doing, no. Start now. It doesn't matter what you're starting, whether you're starting like a 30-second plank in the morning. You have to do a physical action with whatever it is decision you've decided, and you have to do that at that moment. It's like, if I've decided to do something, I have to physically go do something to be in that first little step. It doesn't have to be huge, little step. So you're right. Grab a piece of paper, schedule, like write down Monday, Tuesday, morning, afternoon, and start prepping. It takes nothing to do that.
So I have a quick question for the group. We've been using a lot of examples of fitness, whether it's planking, running, whatever. I am curious to know, ladies, how many of you have, and I'm going to unmute you right now, how many of you are currently using a calendar to schedule in your physical fitness? I am hugely adamant about physical fitness because I truly believe that it helps to unblock our blockages. And in my personal experience and speaking with people, it helps to just get the creativity going. So how many of you are scheduling physical fitness into your calendar?
I am.
Who said I am?
I'm Sarah.
Awesome. Sarah, how are you scheduling it? Or when are you scheduling it? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, so I work out every evening after my kids go to bed. I go to hot yoga. So it's just become a habit of mine now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I leave the house at 8:05 and I get home at 9:45, and it's a good way to get to sleep. So I've done that this is my third year.
Wow. And how often, how many nights do you do it?
I go 4 nights a week.
That's fantastic. Sarah, are you in Meadowvale?
Yes.
Which location? Sorry.
Yeah, I am 9th line in Derry, so I'm like Lisgar.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my hood, sister.
I know. Been mine my whole life.
Okay, who else? Give me another example of physical fitness that you've scheduled into your calendar.
I do. I don't know if you can hear me.
Is it Morella?
Lena?
Lena, excellent. Lena, what is it you do and when do you schedule it?
I schedule at 10 a.m. 3 days a week to be with my trainer. That's our scheduled time that's cut off. It's an entire hour, so I don't miss it because I can't miss it because it's his time and my time, the only time he has available, which forces sort of a habit. And then I've got another 3 days where he demands that I do 30 minutes of Stairmaster, so I schedule it at 7 p.m. every night to get it done. That's when I'm done my work day. So
awesome.
yeah.
7 p.m. 3 nights a week, you schedule that in. Okay, who else blocks off or schedules physical fitness into their weekday?
I've just started back to it again. It's Nair.
Hey, Nair. Yeah?
I started back on Monday, and I'm back to walking an hour and a half. I leave the house by 6:45, and I'm back about 8:30.
Wow.
So I was doing that for a long time before, about 6 months, 8 months ago. And when the weather was good, I was doing about 2.5 hours every morning.
Wow, that's
so
incredible.
now back to an hour and a half, started back.
Incredible.
I find it that, as Kandice said, it is absolutely changes your mindset completely.
Awesome.
It feels you can take on the world.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you, Nair, for sharing.
You're
okay,
welcome.
I'm going to mute everybody again, and we're going to let Kandice continue because I know Kandice has to get back to work. All right, so Kandice, should I go ahead to the next slide?
Yes, please.
Okay, go ahead.
So this was me just saying to you about, am I saying? Okay. How you can use your online calendar as well. And you can't, I've just done my whole month quickly, but literally you can see little dots of colors, and that's me changing, like my off days have a certain color, my workout, my goddess time has a certain color. Everything is there. You can do this easily enough. You don't have to have a piece of paper. If you don't have to have paper calendar. It's just putting it in there, and it's set. So anyone who has access to my calendar, AKA my husband, can as well see I'm already booked.
So let me understand this. So I use Google Calendar. So when you create an entry, you've chosen a color code to assign it. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
And so when I'm looking at the green, is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So green, for example, says the consultant calendar. So is that when you're working on?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's different calendars have their own color, but I have certain colors attached to. So like, yes, as an Epicure consultant, I see the head office calendar and it's in there and has its own color.
Oh, gotcha.
My husband has his own color as well when he puts his in there. But standardly mine, when I'm actually clicking on it and creating it, it can say what color you want it to be. And it'll block out the whole entire thing, that color. So if you looked at a whole week, I would see big blocks of colors.
Okay.
If I showed you a month to show you, I can do it like that too. So you can quickly look and see, ooh, I've got my month every day. You can see I have goddess time.
Excellent. And so I guess as well, by using a Google Calendar, you can say every Monday from 9 to 12 is going to be my admin day, recurring weekly. Okay.
Exactly.
So that's a quick way to develop the calendar.
Yes, exactly. So put it in there, recur it, whatever it is. If it's once a month, it's once a month. If it's once a week, it's once a week. Or if it's every day, it's every day. But the idea is, you can easily, there's so much you can do with a Google Calendar where you can make it, you've actually broke, no one can contact you. You can do all that kind of stuff. So it actually works out pretty good.
Time is the one thing that we can't buy. Right? You all agree with that? Time is the one thing that we can't buy more of. We can't get it back. I mean, we could hire people to allow us to free us up more, but we can't get it back. So I really, and maybe this comes with my, getting closer to the age of 50. I don't know why I just said that, but just realizing that, time is so important. My time is so important. Family time is so important. And you have to protect time.
Yes.
So we're talking a lot, or I feel like we're talking a lot about putting in time that is sacred to you. But I mean, we're not. Time blocking means that you're going to spend every Tuesday morning from 9 to 12 as well, following up with every client in your contact book, right? Time blocking means that you're going to spend Fridays making all those cold calls, if that's what you do.
Exactly.
Time blocking means that Wednesdays from 7 till 9, or every night of the week from 7 to 9, you're going to read or do professional development or watch podcasts. That's what time blocking is. To me, I'm thinking a lot of personal stuff here, because it's one thing I don't block.
But that's the point.
I don't do.
Yeah. But that's exactly it. We standardly put in all the work stuff, the things we don't want to do or whatever, but then we either end up not doing it, or we end up ignoring everything we really want to be doing. So spending time with our family, or going to the gym, or meditating in the morning, or going to yoga, or going on vacation. And then it becomes stressful, right? When that time comes and your kids are at you and going, well, now, and you're like, no, I got to work, because you haven't put a time frame when you work and when you don't work, and everyone's at you. So that's partly what I'm doing this more now, is because when I was in Scotland, because of the 5-hour time difference, I ended up still working. Both aftercare and my project management work, because it's 5 hours difference and internet's everywhere. So I just got online at midnight instead of working. And I came home feeling stressed out, going, why am I so stressed out? It was a beautiful vacation. We had an awesome time, because I didn't actually decompress, de-stress, leave all that behind. And it's part of that. So important. But talking about scheduling your work as well. Yes. So when you, for example, put in your 2 hours of cold calling, or your 2 hours for me, like I do cooking classes, or like I think Carrie's here for Tupperware class or something, she has it in there. Say, for example, someone cancels and she still has those 2 hours, or I still have those 2 hours. Be like, well, no, this isn't time off. This is still time to work on my job. So whether it's calling to get more bookings, whether it's doing some cold calls, whether it's, creating posts, anything, at least in essence, you're still using that time, so that you yourself are holding yourself accountable for everything you put in your calendar.
Sorry, that was my
No, sorry. Okay, so we can go on to the next one.
Yeah, sure.
I think, so that's what I was trying to get into, is mindset. So be firm. Remember to look after yourself. It's basically, as I said before, the more time you give to yourself to recharge, re-energize, the more you can share with everybody else. And as I said, try just saying yes to something, but saying yes and. Yes, I can do that for you, but and it will have to be this other day, right? We can do it Tuesday, whatever the scenario is. So that's kind of, it's a habit, as we've said already, like numerous times on this call. You have to change your habit a little bit, and it starts with little things. There's a quote from Charles Dunhill, who does the Power of Habit. You really should read it. It's really cool, that book. It's all about cues. And
put the book title and app title in the event when we're done.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's an amazing book about how you change up that habit with the reward and the cue. The routine, the reward and the cue stay the same, but the routine changes. So the cue is, I get home. You always get home and you would say eat. Well, how about you get home and you don't eat, you go work out or eat something like that. And then the reward is still the same. You still get a physical pleasure from it. It's just little things like that. But he talks all about it, and it's really crazy. Like, it's intense when you think about it, the fact that it's that belief and that craving and that reward that makes your habit habit to be changed. Sorry, I'm reversing what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Habit to change. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, next one.
Well, on this slide, if I might just add, number 4 is a critical skill set that I think women entrepreneurs need to learn. We need to learn to be able to say no. Mm-hmm. Period.
For sure. With no explanation.
That's
just
right.
No.
Right. Because we are nurturers. We're born to serve. That's it's a chemistry. And we want to make people happy, I think, as mothers, as aunts, as grandmothers, and then as entrepreneurs, especially when we're new in our journey, we feel like if we say no, this client will never come back to me. If we say no, this client will be unhappy with me. If we say no, I won't get a paycheck. It's okay to say no.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree. Mm-mm.
And again, that whole idea with we have 24 hours. We need to make sure we're using it the best possible way we can with the people that we want, right? To move us forward.
Exactly.
Happy space.
Well, that's it. The more happy, if you're in a good, happy state, then the people around you will be as well, and it'll be contagious. But if you come in grumpy because you had to say yes to something you didn't really want, even that lovely time you were having with your kids, you're now still thinking about whatever it is you had to say yes to, right? It just tickles, trickles down. You don't want it to trickle that way. You want it to be like, you're done and you moved on and now you're still happy and there's nothing to be guilty about or having shame for. This is what you want to do.
Well, just on a side note, men know how to do that. Men know how to shut it down, right? I don't know if you that influence, but my husband can come home and he doesn't think about work 1 second. That's it. It's there. And that could also be the fact that he has a physical location where my office is right here in the center of our home. Well, my office is actually right here.
Yeah, but that's it. So you have your time, you blocked it off and you don't go into that office, right? When you're not working, right? You say, nope, I'm not there. Don't have anything in there personal, right? That you would go in there for any reason. It's just like, don't go.
Oh, new habits. Mm. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say what this is. So this is basically the piece of paper. So I'm more than happy to share with anyone who wants it. I have a PDF of it and you can go ahead and print it out and try it out yourself at home. Otherwise, it's literally just a piece of paper, but I wanted to show you this is what it looks like without all my scribbles on it. But you can do it yourself. It's just, if you want a cute little calendar, I can send it to you. So again, what you do before 9 a.m. and that's my goddess time. So literally at 7 o'clock in the morning, that's when I get up and do my meditation and journaling and exercises, and that's my time every morning. So I get up earlier now, so to make sure that always happens. Don't want to sleep in and then I miss it and then I'm grumpy for the whole day going to the office, right? Because I still have to get to the office at a certain time. So I'm up earlier now, which means I go to bed earlier, which is a much better habit. And also what that does, by the way, that habit means I go to bed and wake up at the same time. And that is huge for making sure that, one, you don't get headaches, you don't, you get the whole hangover thing, like, because you haven't slept properly. So it's a big thing for your health as well to make sure you always go to bed and wake up at the same time. During the weekend, every day, same thing. And that helps, right? Because now it's like, okay, goddess time. Nope, I'm not sleeping in because I really want to do it. And I get a physical reaction from doing my own time. I get the endorphins, I get the goosebumps, I get excited because now I have an intention for the day. It's just creating that reward for it.
Awesome. Can I ask about the calendar here? I see it kind of looks like it's broken down in like 3-hour segments. Is there any kind of methodology as to how to block out time as far as what an optimal block duration is, or really that's just a personal calendaring thing?
Yeah, well, I guess it would be more personal what you have to do. So for like, if you went back to my calendar where I did all the scribbles, you would see, because I have a daytime job, I can't do the Monday morning and afternoon, evening kind of scenario. So in the middle, I've scribbled in my day job, and then I have my lunch. And during that lunch, I go for a walk, I get some prep stuff done. So I squish it all right then and kind of do that. So in between it, like, people have their 15-minute breaks. They might go do something, get something to eat. I stop myself from eating by working a little bit on Epicure in the office because it's computer and no one's going to, like, I have the flexibility. Not everyone has flexibility, but I have a little flexibility and I can do that. And I make sure I go for my lunch. But otherwise, yes, standardly, most of us who do some kind of workshop or stuff is 3-hour time frame. So what I do is the same 3-hour time frame that I would be working on my Epicure or Happy Healthy Women or whatever. I blocked it off still, and that's what I do during the 3 hours. So one day it'll be Happy Healthy Women in the evening, one day it'll be Epicure and it'll just fluctuate based on what I have that night.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go back to that. Thank you for answering that.
No problem. So yeah, you can go ahead and adjust it. So like, whatever works better for your schedule.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, that's it.
Sorry, I thought you said go ahead.
No, you're correct. You're correct. I probably did. So go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So right now I'm going to unmute the group again, and I am going to ask, sorry, Candice, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Thank you very much for everybody. I hope it was helpful. If you have questions, I'm here for you now, or if you need to talk later about it, I would more than willing to help out. Sorry. Wow. Okay.
So I have a couple of questions to ask the group. So I've unmuted. How many of you are currently using time blocking technique or your own version of this today?
I am Rashmi.
Rashmi, you're using time blocking? Awesome.
I have to block it because I have a little 2.5-year-old look after, so you cannot control, and I'm there all the time on his demand for now. So I know his habit, according to the habit, when he's napping or what time I have to do this. So between that time I do my work. So I just block what the time allows me. And then I work at nighttime more because I'm home then.
So just
I do my exercise and everything, breathing exercise, everything. I get up early in the morning early. If I know that they are going at 7, I make sure I get at 5 or something to get enough time to do my breathing exercise and a little bit of swimming. Other than that, I cannot do it.
great, thank you. Just so everyone knows, I've unmuted you. So if you are typing or talking to someone else on the phone or anything, just go back and mute yourself for me. Sorry about that. We just heard typing over Rashmi's explanation. That's great, Rashmi. Good for you. So you do a lot of your work in the evening, you block out your exercise time, and you schedule your work time around your grandchild who you care for during the day.
That's right. And then again, I cannot sleep at night that early because I have so much work stayed behind. So I stay a little bit up later. But what I find, when he's napping, I nap too. So I get my sleep.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, so who else does a version of time blocking today already? Blocks out specific.
This is Emily. Yeah, I use the blocking time technique too, especially for family, let's say, in the evening and looking after the kids and cooking, because my husband don't cook and I have 2 little ones under 3.
Yes.
So the only thing that I'm lacking is the blocking time for myself, like a day off, like what Candice was saying earlier. That is something that I feel that is definitely a need for me now, because everything would just, if I don't do that, I feel like I just burn out. I get burned out at night.
Yeah.
That's why I say do that. Treat your me time as actual work. Just when you're scheduling it, it's just as important, or it is the most important thing. Yes, family make meals and all that, but you know what? If it doesn't have to be a full hour, by the way, it doesn't have to be 3 hours. It can be 5 minutes. It can be 15 minutes. It's just 15 minutes where I'm going in another room and I'm gonna, whatever it is you want to do, read a book, listen to music, something, and then you'll get into the habit and you'll start stretching that 15 minutes up more to an hour or whatever, or a day or something. But literally just start with little bit of time. You're away. You're like, you know what? I understand that your family will be a little bit apprehensive of what you're doing because they're like, why are you doing this? You've never done it before. But the more you do it and the more you're firm, they'll get it and they'll know mommy has me time. Okay, I'm going to go play, right? You know, or if you have to give them something to play with, like they're coloring while you're listening to a book. I mean, I don't want to be telling you how to do your kids. Of course, I don't have children, but you know, that concept of, you know your kids, you know how to get them distracted for 5-10 minutes while you're off doing something that you want to do. And then maybe even talking to your husband.
I guess I'm a little greedy when I say, wow, a day for me, that's amazing. So I guess, okay, I'll take your advice. I'll just start with maybe like 15 minutes and then start from there.
Yeah, I know. I saw that pink all day and I'm like, that would have to be like my birthday or like a very special occasion. But to go out like evening, girl time, like 3 hours, I think I need to do that more too. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So thank you so much, Candice. I don't know if anyone else wanted to share the time blocking they're currently doing. If anyone has any questions for Candice, feel free to put them in the chat, ask now. But of course, reach out to Candice in the MAWB. You can ask your questions in the event as well. And that will, Candice will hopefully be able to come back and take a look at the event. But I would recommend, if you do want to tag her, that would be helpful as well. So that's it, everyone. We are at 12:43, which is awesome. Candice, 2 minutes to eat lunch. Again, thank you so much, Candice, for taking the time to share with us this technique that you use and examples of how that you can, try to make this become a habit, change the mindset, and create a more fulfilling life for ourselves. Fill our cup first before we try to pour from an empty one. Does that make sense?
Very much so. Yes.
Awesome. All right. So,
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you,
day,
Candice.
ladies.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.